In this video, we're going to look at the more advanced features of the A10 mini series. So if you've just been using the hardware that we installed, you may be used to using the picture-in-picture feature and just switching that on and off when you want it. When we left, we would have set those picture-in-picture up. So in the case of this system, the picture-in-picture appears in the bottom left-hand corner and shows what is being shown on the PC input, which is fantastic. It gives us the ability to show what's happening in the church while referring to something that's being shown in the church. So this is great for when a service is being led, but we're not expected to read anything of any detail, but it just gives us an image, or in this case a Bible reference that's being spoke about. But in this video, we're going to look at how we change those features to enable different sources to appear in the box, and also how we're going to enable different locations as well. So we're going to move over to the desk to start with. So in the A10 software, you can see that picture-in-picture is on air. Now this yellow one here means that when we next press the auto button, it will switch off. So anything that's yellow is going to make a change. So it's going to be in the change. What's going to happen is it's going to be a mix of the two, and in the change it's going to turn the key, which is what the reference of picture-in-picture is, or other effects are. Key 1 is going to change its state. So here it's off, but if I press it again, it goes to off. So that means there, look, we don't have a picture-in-picture on the program. But if you notice on the preview there is a picture-in-picture, and that's because this yellow light is on, which means the next time we press auto, it goes on air. So if we want to keep a picture-in-picture on air, for example, if we've got two cameras, then we want to deselect that. So then when we make a transition from one camera to another, the picture-in-picture will stay in position. So there's no difference, there's no change between the two, because we're not making a change on that key 1. So now let's get to editing what that picture-in-picture looks like. So for this, we're going to use the palette tab on the right hand side, the upstream 1 key. There's only one key in the A10 mini range, so we're going to choose that one, and then you've got lots of different settings, but for the picture-in-picture we're going to change it under DVE. Here we can change what the source is under the source fill, the position, the size, and you can put a mask on and hide different bits, or produce a shadow of it, or put a border around it, or decide on 2 different locations of where that's going to sit. We'll come to those more advanced features in a little bit later, but for the time being we'll look at the basics of changing the source and changing the size and position. So here we've got it in the bottom left hand corner, and we've got it in with a blackboard around it with the PC. So I've just made the my screen appear on the bottom right hand corner there. So I'm going to be making all of my changes here in the settings tab under DVE. One thing I might want to have happen is, rather than the PowerPoint be the smaller image, you might want the smaller image to be the camera feed. So to do that, we can we'll do all of this in the preview. So let's take that one off air. So and then let's be looking at the preview screen. So we want the image to be the PowerPoint, but then if we press the key 1, then we can see there that the picture-in-picture has appeared. But we don't want it two PCs inputs, so we're going to change the source fill under the DVE to camera 1. That's now changed it to camera 1. And for this case, because it's going to be a zoomed in picture of somebody's face, we don't need it quite as big. So I think for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to use the position X and position Y to move it so that it's in the top right hand corner, but also we don't need it as big, so we're going to use the size and we're going to zoom that to be just a little bit smaller. And like I say, we're going to tuck it back in that corner there. So then that's all ready to go. And then we press the auto button down here, and that effect goes to the stream to YouTube. So that's quite useful for when somebody makes a reference to a PowerPoint slide that's maybe got some small text on it, or we want to be looking at that picture in detail. But then when they stop referring to that PowerPoint slide or that feed, then we can go back to auto, go to full screen again, transition back to a full screen of the person who's leading the service. So the next part of the video is more advanced. These are things that we're sort of letting you know that the ATEM is capable of doing, but again, you may want to learn over a period of time to do these. It's not something that you would necessarily want to do all the time. So what you can do here is, if we scroll down, I'm going to go back to a full screen now. So going back to a full screen, if we scroll down from where we were adjusting the fill source and the position and the size, what we want to do is we can choose a position where we want the image to be, the picture-in-picture to be. So in this case, let's set this current position to set B. Click that one there. So then let's just slide that off to the side. That position there. We're going to set that one there to set A. So now when we look at the preview screen, we've got, if we look in the preview screen in the top left hand corner, we've got two positions. We've got position A, which is off screen, and then position B, which slides in from the right hand side. And then we've also got run to full. So if we want to bring that one to full screen, then we can bring that one to full screen, but then we can also bring it back to the top right hand corner as well, and we can also slide it out again to the right hand side. You might want to use that for this setup, or it can also be useful if somebody is doing a quick reference to a PowerPoint slide and you've got the picture-in-picture source set as the PC.